Good Monday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this busy Monday, and we've got busy weather on the way. And this bird is going to have to hold on quite tightly to that branch there because the winds are really going to start cranking this afternoon right through Tuesday. This is the daily video forecast discussion for Monday, the 28th of March, 2016. And I also wanted to say that I hope everyone had a spectacular Easter holiday weekend. We have lots of weather to talk about, and we're going to get going right now. Wind advisories for the entire forecast region and covering our entire forecast region of southeastern New York, the lower Hudson Valley, all of New York City, Long Island, all of New Jersey, down through the Delmarva here. Gale warnings on the coast. These wind advisories are going to extend from late this afternoon into Tuesday, and some areas, especially around the New York City metropolitan area, the bridges actually will be the most vulnerable. We're going to see westerly winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour, gust up to 50 miles per hour from late this afternoon right through early Tuesday. So we're going to have to be monitoring this very carefully if you're traveling outside during these peak times from late tonight through tomorrow, especially over high bridges and higher roadways here. You're going to have to be very careful and hold on to your steering wheel quite tightly. We have gale warnings on the coast until 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and these are for some gusty winds too. These will be for basically west winds at 20 to 25 knots, gust up to 40 knots, and seas quite choppy at 5 to 8 feet. Small craft advisories going over to gale warnings on the north shore, south shore of Long Island, and the open waters here. Westerly winds at 25 to 35 knots, gust up to 40 knots from late today through Tuesday, and the seas averaging 7 to 11 feet. These are the morning rain totals for the region. Anywhere from half of an inch to a third of an inch of rain has fallen across most of the region, and some locations have exceeded in some heavier bands here of rain. We've exceeded half of an inch, close to 3/4 of an inch in portions of the Delmarva here, southern New Jersey, and also portions of Long Island and southern Connecticut this morning as well. Current allergy conditions for today, low with the rain. The maples and junipers are flourishing right now. Tomorrow it's going to be high, and it's also going to be windy and drying during the day, so pollen dispersal is going to be absolutely near the top level during tomorrow. The 5-day forecast is looking quite interesting as well. It's going to be on the high side during tomorrow at 10, Wednesday 8.4, 9.1 on Thursday, and 6.4. So this is the medium to high side as the pollen begins to broadcast rapidly through the air. You're going to need your medication. Morning pass of the visible satellite this morning shows the entire area shrouded in clouds. There's breaks in the clouds here, and this is an occluded front coming in from the west. During this afternoon, it's going to rapidly move through the region, and the winds are going to start cranking as this storm system here over the lower Great Lakes here begins to intensify as it moves towards the St. Lawrence River Valley. We can already see a lot of the drying in the mid and lower levels of the atmosphere aloft here as this strong cold front moves into the region. Occluded front means the colder air is actually going to take over the warm air that's in place right now. And the wind conditions are going to continue too. We can see the Dopplers now showing the rain getting out of the region here. It's moving through New Jersey right now, and Connecticut and the lower Hudson Valley, and eventually all of this will begin to dry out over the next couple of hours, but the winds are going to start to crank. See this now on the satellite loop this morning. This is the latest Vapor 2 channel. Is showing the deep low strengthening and deepening as it moves into southeastern Canada, Quebec, and Ontario here, dragging a cold front through the region with plenty of rain, which will be moving out of the region. Latest Doppler channel shows the rain exiting into southeastern New York and Connecticut. So most of the rain now for the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metropolitan area is over. But we've got some strong winds here, and these wind vectors are moving in from the west and from the northwest today. And we can see on the streamline analysis too that this is showing up nicely with our strong occluded front just about on our back doorstep this morning. If we take off that and we get into the wind gusts, we're going to find that we've got some very strong winds across the region. We can already see the winds increasing into the 20s and 30s here, and these are miles per hour in gust, and they will continue to move into our region. So our entire forecast region over the next 12 hours is going to be in for some very strong winds. We are already experiencing some airport delays at LaGuardia, Newark, and Philadelphia. You're going to want to check with your carriers, especially if you're traveling out of these or into these airports later this afternoon into early tomorrow morning, as high winds are going to cause delays across the entire grid. On the aviational weather deck later this morning, we have IFR and MVFR conditions, limited IFR conditions across the terminals this morning, and that's because the rainfall is continuing, but it will come to an end very shortly from west to east. And the rain will lift to the northeast and end from southwest to northeast during the next couple of hours. Ceilings and visibilities will improve dramatically to MVFR by the mid-afternoon, and then to VFR as the cold front moves across the region. Once the VFR conditions return, the remainder of the TAF period will be in VFR. The only other story will be the increasing west to northwest winds late this afternoon into tonight, and the winds could gust up to 30 knots or higher behind the passage of the cold front from late afternoon into the evening. Tuesday through Wednesday, VFR conditions, and Thursday and Friday, conditions lowering back to MVFR and possibly IFR with widespread showers, and there's a slight chance for thunderstorms on Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Busy, busy. Forecast right now out of Newark. 45 degrees, dew point 43, humidity 93%. The wind is northeast at 12. That's going to all change around in the next couple of hours. Some light rain and fog. Visibility is about 5, and the story will be the light rain exiting and the strong winds coming in late this afternoon and evening. Right now in Philadelphia, it's 50, dew point 46, humidity 87%. The wind is northeast at 8. That's going to change too. And again, the story for later today, the rain exits, the winds begin to crank. Storm reports over the last 24 hours or so have shown a significant amount of hail and wind damage with this area of low pressure now into southeastern Canada here, crossing over from the Great Lakes here into Canada, and it has produced a swath of hail and wind damage across portions of Illinois, Indiana, and northeastern or northwestern Ohio right up to Detroit this morning. Another strong storm system plowing into Wyoming and the Colorado Rockies over the last 24 hours has produced snow in portions of northern New Mexico, southern Colorado, and portions of Oklahoma, northwestern Oklahoma, during the last 24 hours. Here in the east, we find lots of wind advisories covering an entire large chunk of the northeastern United States as the storm heads into southeastern Canada. A surface wave off the Virginia coast begins to move to the northeast. This whole thing is going to wrap up into a deep storm system over Newfoundland here and northern New Brunswick here over the next 24 hours. And as such, the difference between this pressure gradient here and high pressure building in across the Midwest is going to cause all of the strong winds across the region. Now, if we move the map out a little bit further to the west here, you got that big storm system entering the fray here into Colorado Rockies here. You got winter storm watches and warnings out. You got gale warnings along the coast. Just busy weather from coast to coast. You're going to need all types of weather gear, winter coats, spring weather, apparel, and of course, just about everything, because we're going to have a couple of different seasons here all marching through, no pun intended, the end of March and the beginning of April. Here's our storm system wrapping up here, and our new storm system getting going here in the Colorado Rockies here. That's going to be moving into the plains with plenty of snow and ice. High pressure is going to build over our forecast region, and the winds will begin to slacken off later tomorrow, but they're going to be strong right through that time from late this afternoon right through tomorrow morning. And then high pressure begins to move to the east, and we get that big storm system then heading up by Thursday morning into the Great Lakes region. That's going to drag southwesterly flow, very mild temperatures beginning to get back into the fray here. A little bit chillier to the north of the front, but this warm front's going to rapidly advance north, and Thursday we could find temperatures in the 60s and lower 70s again before everything comes to a crashing halt with a series of cold fronts. As that storm then deepens into southeastern Canada, drags a couple of different cold fronts through the region, and a step down to much chillier weather as we head into the beginning of next week with this storm system. This is going to plow through the eastern United States over the weekend, and as such, colder air, Arctic cold, not Arctic cold, but definitely cold air for this time of the year is going to infiltrate into the eastern United States on Sunday night, Monday, and early Tuesday. We're going to find well below normal temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days into the beginning portions of April here as that cold pool builds in over the region, warming aloft and at the surface here across the west. A very big cool down that's going to be temporary across the region. And then the next 8 to 14 days, we're still below normal, but the anomalies become less apparent as you head further to the north, to the south, and more apparent as you head further to the north and east. GFS forecast maps into motion, the double barrel low leaving the northeast, and in its wake, colder air coming in and breezy conditions. The next chance of precipitation comes with another frontal system and low attached to this here in southeastern Canada. This comes through on Friday morning with a swath of showers. And again, there could be a low-top thunderstorm in these, and there could be some embedded enhancement in some of the rainfall across southeastern New Jersey and the Delmarva region by Friday afternoon as that cold front moves through, and then a series of cold fronts move through. We could have some light snow with this clipper system coming in on Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Could touch off some light snow showers at very high elevations here as the cold air comes in. Don't be surprised to see some flakes in the air. And then come Tuesday, we've got another clipper diving down in the cold northwesterly flow, and this could produce a swath of light snow over interior hillier sections. Yes, it's true. Even during April, we've had this before, April 6th of 1982. Well, the idea here is that winter isn't completely over yet, but it's not going to be a heavy accumulating snow. You probably just see snow showers or flakes in the air as the cold air begins to retreat, and then warming conditions begin to evolve by the by the middle of next week. Here comes another cold front through the region on Friday the 8th. This again, mostly rain showers associated with it, and then eventually just a change in the pattern and a natural warming to the trend here as we get into the second week of April with more rain showers on the way. Busy pattern moving forward. For giggles and grins only, this is the GFS forecasted out to 240 hours. So from now to April 7th, it's forecasting a total of a couple of inches of snow across the region. That's not out of the question either. So lots of weather on the way over the next 2 weeks. Get ready. It's going to be an active pattern moving forward, and you're going to have to pay attention. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a great Monday. We'll be back in detailed forecast form tomorrow morning on Tuesday.